Hello everybody, how's it going? Lord Josh here once again, and I know that it has been a very long time since I have deciphered an occult symbol. Now, my methods for deciphering symbols are a lot different to what you could probably find here on YouTube. First of all, most people who are on this website always seem to latch onto the things that are the cliches. The pyramids, the satanic pentagrams, the all-seeing eyes. They're looking for things that everybody else has already found. Why on earth would you waste your time looking for symbols that are already out there in public knowledge? Doesn't make any sense. Now, all symbols are intended to be discovered by their creators. That's why they're made in the first place. They are created to resonate with certain types of people. So generally the unwashed masses, the conformists, they can look at symbols all day long and they see nothing. Whereas a person like you or I will look at a symbol and see absolutely everything hidden in there as an encrypted message. So you have to be a very particular kind of person to be able to understand the language that these symbols speak. And the language, of course, is pictures, it's through images, which is very interesting when I go on YouTube and I look at a lot of the different YouTubers who are creating videos on esoteric symbols, and in my opinion they're approaching it from a very cliche way, and they're not looking at it with their own imagination and saying to themselves, I'm not interested in all that crap, I'm here to discover something new and original. I found a prime example of such a case right here. Now, as you probably know, if you've followed me for any length of time, I'm a Lamatologist and a Taoist. Now, when you're deciphering hidden symbols, it's more important to acknowledge the Mayan side of things, which means that you have to look for the Lamat star. The Lamat star is a Mayan hieroglyph. It's usually yellow or orange, and it's a four-directional symbol that has been used in variation since the very dawn of time. It's older than time itself. Every civilization and all kinds of people have used this at some point, but it always conveys the same thing. So what I do when I look for hidden symbols, I will always try to see if I can spot the Lamat Mayan hieroglyph. And what does it convey, aside from the four-directional philosophy? It conveys Venus, ripe, maize, seed, rabbit, and new beginnings. Now, all of those things might sound kind of random and weird when they're said like that, but if you begin to put the puzzle pieces together, you start to see something forming. You start to see it actually makes sense. And here is just the example of it. Wait till you see this. Now, this is a character from Pokemon. I don't watch Pokemon, I don't really watch any television, I don't play the games, and I have absolutely no knowledge whatsoever of the lore behind it. But what does that look like to you? On his forehead is the Lamat star, conveying the four directions and conveying Captain Lamat, the main spirit of Lamatology. There it is, in exactly the same color. That's literally the Lamat Mayan star copied and pasted onto this character's forehead. It gets even better than that. Just a second. You really couldn't make this up, could you? What is he holding in his hands? What does it look like to you? What am I holding? A Zhuge Liang Kong Ming fan. That's right, even Kong Ming sometimes shows up in synchronicities. Now, Zhuge Liang, if you are not aware, was a legendary prime minister during the Three Kingdoms era of ancient China, and he was the prime minister of the Shu Han state, and he served Lord Liu Bei. Now, this is paying homage, paying tribute to Kong Ming. So you've got Zhuge Liang, Wolong, meaning sleeping or crouching dragon, with the feathered fan here. And on the forehead, you've got the Lamat star, tracing back to the Mayan origins. Now, why on earth would somebody create this? What does this mean? The artist who created this particular character or this piece probably didn't even realize what he was getting himself into here. When you create something, sometimes you are influenced and motivated by divine nature, meaning that the universe is working through you to send a message to other people. So for example, It was destined that this artist was to create this character so that I would see it and I would decode it for what it is. That's the universe working through the artist. The universe is working through me to motivate me, to inspire me to find this, and it's also working through you because you found the video that I've created about this particular artist, about this particular character. So you can see that there is a certain spiritual force working here through everybody, and that's what it is. It's the Lamat Mayan star. The more energy that you put into symbolism, the more energy that you put into decoding them, the more you'll start to see them in your daily life. And I challenge people to look for them. Look for this star, look for the feathered fan, and piece it all together because it all makes sense. Now let's look at some interesting facts about this character, and let's check out his backstory. Fascinating. Just a second. So, he is called the Oranguru, right? Now think about it. Oranguru. Guru is a spiritual master. It's someone who probably has knowledge and experience of the esoteric arts. So you could say that really a guru is like a sage, and a sage is like a mystic, and mystics practice magic that comes from the self. They practice spells that they create from their own bodies and their own minds. Mysticism, right? Let's keep going. Now this character, according to this Wikipedia, now I'm not sure if the Wikipedia is correct because I have no knowledge of the actual show, I don't watch it, so I'm trusting it is accurate and correct. It says here, the abilities of the Oranguru are inner focus and telepathy. Inner focus, introversion, getting to know oneself, one's emotions, meditating, and telepathy. All things so deeply involved with the occult, with the practice of magic. Let's keep going. In the center of its forehead is a yellow marking shaped like a four-pointed star. I didn't write this. I didn't create this character. Go ahead and look for yourself. Isn't that fascinating? That's the universe working. And if you want to give it a name, rather than just saying vaguely the universe, you can call it Lamat, because that's what it is. It's the law of four, and it's working perfectly. It's bliss. It's absolutely fantastic for someone like me to see these things and think, okay, I'm getting a nod from the universe, from Lamat, kind of like a wink. I'm on the right path here. I'm doing the right thing. Let's keep going. This solitary Pokemon spends most of its time deep in the forest, meditating high up in the trees. Who was solitary? Who was a hermit? Who spent time in seclusion? Kong Ming. Zhuge Liang spent time as a hermit before he was recruited by Liu Bei after the 3 visits. So in a lot of ways you're seeing the Eastern Taoist Chinese influences coming through here, just as you're seeing the Mayan ones. Meditating in a forest like a hermit, spending time in seclusion, being introverted, carrying a feathered fan. All of this points towards a sage who would live in the mountains, just like Zhuge Liang, Master Wo Long. It says here, ancient people actually thought Oranguru were people and called them the people of the forests. So it really does point to a sort of civilization of hermit-like people, basically Taoists, who would live in seclusion in order to go into themselves, in order to basically soul search and self-actualize, to read their own emotions and to get better at performing magic. It's incredible that these things are out there to be seen, and it's manifested in a Pokemon character. When I say to people that it could manifest, it could appear in car logos, I've done the Lexus symbol, please see that video. It could appear in commercials, I did one once for Admiral Insurance. It can appear in politics, it can appear anywhere. It doesn't really matter where it shows up. The point is, it's everywhere. And it's a language. And you have to have the knowledge of the history of Zhuge Liang, because that's historical, that's true, and also you have to know about the mythology and the spiritual side. If you know both of these things, you essentially have yin and yang. You have the balance of both. Then you can assimilate the knowledge and learn to understand what it means on a deeper level. Let's keep going. Now, sometimes when you are decoding a symbol, what you'll usually do, even if you don't mean to do it, you will look at the most complicated parts first. I would refrain from doing that because you will actually miss what's staring you back in the face. Let me show you this. Where is the 4-directional star located? What part of the body is it located at? Let me see if you can get it. Did you get it? The forehead. You literally couldn't make this up, could you? The Lamat star is located on the forehead. Now, if you overanalyze and you look at the intricate details, a lot of what happens is with your mind, you will brush over the simplistic parts. Don't do that. Look at it on an obvious level first, then analyze it, and you'll see things just like that. The forehead, amazing. It says here, known for its extreme intelligence. Who was known for their extreme intelligence? Who was known for being a genius? Zhuge Liang. He is highly regarded as one of the most accomplished strategists of his era and of all time. He was an inventor, a writer, a weather magician, a politician, an administrator. He did everything. So you can start to see that this character was really modeled after Kong Ming. A lot of inspiration was taken from the Three Kingdoms to create this. Then it says here, this Pokemon will look down on inexperienced trainers. So it's best suited for veteran trainers. Now you could take that as an example of occultism, that when you work with a lot of deities and a lot of spirits, technically most of them will look down on you because you're inexperienced. Therefore they won't give you any of the really deep knowledge. They won't give it to you because you can't handle it. You're not ready for it yet. You've got to pay your dues and get yourself up the ladder, up the social ladder of occultism, in order to get to that tree where you can pick the knowledge. Otherwise these spirits will outright refuse to work with you because you're not trained, you're not cultivated yet. Spirituality is an art and you have to get better at it with experience. It says, deep in the jungle, high in the lofty canopy, this Pokemon abides. On rare occasions it shows up at the beach to match wits with Slow King. Now that must be another character. So it likes to match wits. It likes to play mind games. It likes to use its intelligence for competition. Kong Ming was a man full of crafty and cunning mind games, full of ploys, full of little tricks. He was known for his resourcefulness and his cunningness. So you can see now very clearly that there is a lot of connection with this to Lamatology and to Kong Ming, and I think it's utterly fascinating and amazing that nobody is really making videos on this topic or looking it up. It just seems to be, for the most part, very obscure knowledge, and I want to put a stop to that with the creation of these videos. So thanks very much for watching. Feel free to go over and like my Facebook page, Lord Josh Allen. Follow me over at Twitter at the same name. I'll be back very soon for more videos. Take care, everybody.